2 minutes to the top of the hour East African time, just in time for the latest in the world of news here on TV47 Newsnow. Time to bring you up to speed on what has been taking shape across the country for the better part of the day and even beyond the borders. My name is Moige William. Welcome to the broadcast. Now, top on our focus this afternoon, following the World Coin saga, Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki meets the National Assembly Committee on the inquiry of the activities and operations of the World Coin in Kenya for an opening submission. He discloses the findings of the investigation that was held by the government, saying that they suspect the operations of the company are illegal and they may be used to infiltrate money that will be used to finance terror attacks.
And by saying so, Chair, I'm not passing judgments on the legality of cryptocurrency trade. I will explain why we, as Government of Kenya, suspect that this area of cryptocurrency could expose the country to some degree to infiltration by money launderers and people may want to finance terror. This is why. Honorable Chair, first, cryptocurrency is not a legal tender, and therefore it falls out, or rather it falls outside the regulatory framework and ambit of the Central Bank of Kenya. Money laundering and the financing of terror takes place within the financial services sector, involving the transfer of money, either to launder that money or to use that money to finance terror and other illegal activities, including the narcotics trade, or trade in narcotics, drugs, and psychotropic.
On to other news, 2 people are fighting for their lives in Tigoni Hospital after they were shot by suspected carjackers in Kemende Town, Kiambu County. According to the area, the area sub-county police commander, that is Adamson Furaha, they said they have recovered a Seska pistol and 2 spent cartridges. He lauded members of the public of the unity that assisted in rescuing the life of the businessman. The vehicle with the gunshot was towed to Lari police station as DCI officers commence the investigation.
Mwenye gari wakati alipokataa kwenda waliweza kumpiga wale majambazi, na sababu alikuwa amejeruhiwa kiasi ambacho siwezi nikaelezea kwa sababu sijui saa hii ako katika hali gani. Aliweza kuchukuliwa na kupelekwa katika hospitali ya Kijabi Hospital.
Tukirudi tulisikia hasa naye mwingine mwenye alikuwa hapo kwa unity ndio alikuwa amechapiwa hapa na alikuwa bado ameshikwa, na mwingine mwenye alikuwa amepigwa risasi amepelekwa kwa hospitali.
Na kwanza nashukuru tu security hapa kwa sababu wakati wamesikia wamekuja kwa haraka, na ushirikiano huo wa wananchi na maafisa wa polisi ni mzuri kwa area yetu.
Elsewhere, the Independent Medical Legal Unit has strongly condemned cases of violations of human rights which have been witnessed in 1 year of the Kenya Kwanza government. Data from the organization's research in the past 12 months shows the government has failed in democratic policing and protection of human rights and fundamental freedoms. Although the government pledged to enhance the recognition, promotion and enjoyment of human rights and fundamental freedoms for all Kenyans, the significant increase in cases of torture and related violations from 232 in the previous year to 482 in the period from October 2022 to August 2023 indicates a failure to curb police abuse and power. This alarming rise not only shows a lack of progress but also suggests that the situation has worsened.
The data from our daily monitoring in the last 12 months demonstrate that the government has performed dismally with regard to democratic policing and protection of human rights and fundamental freedoms. Indeed, the freedom of assembly, association, expression, and media freedom has faced unprecedented threats. We have witnessed a wave of punitive policing during protests, extrajudicial executions, deaths in custody, deliberate torture of children, interference with investigative authorities, unconstitutional interference with the National Police Service, and other critical human rights violations. Our data reveals a troubling trend from October 2022 to August 31st, 2023. In this period, we documented unprecedented 482 cases of torture and other violations, including extrajudicial executions and forced disappearances. And these cases are more than double the cases documented in a similar period in, between October 2021 and September 2022. This increase in cases of torture and other violations from 232 in the previous period to 482 between October last year and now indicate a failure to curb police abuse of power, including excessive, unnecessary, illegal, and disproportionate use of force and firearms.
Now, let's go beyond the borders. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has appealed to Colombia to partner with Kenya to boost coffee trade in Kenya. Speaking while attending a meeting with the Colombian Coffee Growers Federation in Chinchina, Colombia, the Deputy President said that Kenya is on its way to reclaim its glory in the coffee trade through overseeing reforms in the sector. Colombia is one of the countries who have succeeded in the coffee trade, and Kenya is seeking to partner with Colombia in its quest to gain entry into the global market and not only benefit the country, but also cascade down to farmers.
We are here to seek your friendship, to seek your companionship, to seek your collaboration, to seek a next stage program of how the two countries that produce the best coffee in the world can work together. We are amazed by your success. Our problem in Kenya is not the soils. The soils are good. The rain is good. The farmers are very hardworking. But the people who buy our coffee have denied us access to the world market. They have come in between the farmer in Kenya and the consumer of coffee in the world. Our struggles to penetrate the market have been very difficult. So, Your Excellency, with your permission, I'm giving an open invitation to Mr. President and your Federation that we are willing and ready, if you agree, where we can have a joint program. We start having discussions so that we can learn from you and we see how you can help us to penetrate the world market so that we can sell our coffee directly. And that is where it has been very difficult.
That is an interesting name of the town that the Deputy President has toured, Chinchina. Anyway, let us come back home. It is 1 year since President William Ruto assumed the office as the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya. Ruto took an oath on September 13th, 2022 at Kasarani Stadium and swore to serve Kenyans and lower the cost of living. However, some Kenyans have expressed mixed reactions, or rather opinions, in relation to the performance of the Kenya Kwanza government.
Mimi mfanyi kazi biashara ya matatu industry ambaye ni biashara ambaye ni ya hasira, ni ya mtu wa chini. Na kulingana na serikali ya William Samuel Ruto, 1 year tumeona matunda yake. Sisi kama hasila, sisi biashara yetu ya matatu ilikuwa imepigwa sana. Wakati ya COVID ikakuja. Wakati ya serikali ilikuwa nyuma ilikuwa inatufanyia operation, kila saa ni operation. Lakini wakati serikali ya William Samuel Ruto ilichukua, operations ziliisha. Huwezi ona ofisa wa traffic wakitusumbua. Siku hizi mkubwa amekuwa kama ndio mdogo. Unaongeleshwa kwa lugha ya heshima. Ni kuonekana ya kwamba tulichagua rais ambaye ni hasira kama sisi.
Tulikuwa na madeni mingi, hata tulikuwa tunahofia kutaedaji. Juzi nilisoma mahali nikaona nchi ya Kenya tayari imejitoa kwa hatari ya maroon yenye serikali ilikuwa naye. Alichukua serikali ambaye haikuwa na pesa hata kidogo. Tukakuwa na maisha gumu kidogo, lakini saa hii hakuna mtu ambaye hana macho anaona maisha imeanza kurudi chini. Nikianzia na mambo ya fertilizer, Ruto aliona mahindi inatoka kwa unga. Unga inatoka kwa mahindi na mahindi inatoka kwa shamba. Akapeana fertilizer hii ya subsidy. Watu wakasema anapeana fertilizer, hakuna mvua. Mvua ilinyesha. Saa hii inji haina njaa. Watu wameshiba.
Now let us turn our focus to the ranges of Aberdare, where farmers in Nyandarua County have been encouraged to embrace fishing as an alternative farming method to strengthen their income. For some time, it has been noted that the farmers have been focusing on small-scale farming of potatoes, vegetables and cattle breeding, which has yielded low income due to lack of rain. The Minister for Agriculture in the county, Francis Mirisu, has pointed out that trout is a type of fish that does well in cold areas, thus making the county of Nyandarua conducive for fishing. David Warohi, a resident of Ndaragwa, says since he gave up on cattle breeding and ventured into fish farming, he has benefited a lot.
Kwa majina mimi naitwa Francis Mirengo, mimi ndio waziri anayesimamia kilimo na mifugo na pia ukuzaji wa samaki katika Nyandarua County. Ni kweli sisi tunajulikana sana na ukuzaji wa horticulture crops, mazao kama viazi, kama mboga, hizo tunajulikana kabisa. Lakini pia ukuzaji wa samaki umekuwa miaka hii ya karibuni umekuwa wa juu sana. Ni kwa sababu kuna demand inaendelea kuongezeka katika lishe ya samaki katika ile diet, na kama county tumeingilia kusema jambo la kwanza, kuna directorate katika department ya agriculture yenye inasimamia mambo ya samaki. Hiyo ni kumaanisha tumepatia mambo ya samaki kipaumbele.
Mimi naitwa David Joguruhio, nimetoka Ndaragwa. Ndaragwa ni sub county ya Nyandarua, na mimi ni mkulima wa samaki ambaye nilianza miaka kama 15 imeisha, na kwangu ni faida. Nilikuwa na ng'ombe, nilikuwa na mambo mingi ya kulima, lakini niwacha hizo zote nikaanza ufugaji wa samaki. Vile niliona iko na faida, na faida hiyo imenisaidia na imenipeleka mbali.
All right, and from that story, well, in as much as they are being encouraged to fish farming, it contradicts this famous song that say cash crop za Nyandarua ni maru. But on that note, 12 minutes past 4 p.m, time for a short commercial break. But do keep it TV47, more news on the other side of the break.
Jina Wangui.
Umecheza tatua tatu kwa muda gani?
Niko na kama miaka 2 hivi.
Ushawahi shinda?
Shinda ngiri 10. Na 3000.
Tulikuwa leo Jumapili ndani ya Tatua Bonanza Live. Ukachagua kuspin ama ulichagua box?
Kupatia brand new incubator ya mayai, brand new. Hiyo ni yako.
Hizi umecheza tatua tatu na ulichagua kuspin the wheel.
100,000. Benny!
100,000 Kenya shillings.
Yeah, nataka nianze kujiemploy.
Okay.
Mimi kama unajua mimi ni myang.
Wewe sijui unangoja nini? Chukua simu yako, cheza tatua tatu. Kumbuka ni kubeba chapa ama kubeba bidhaa.
Over 18s only. Gaming can be addictive. Play responsibly. This message has been approved by the BCLB.
Vegetables have to be half of your diet. Of course, drinking water and staying hydrated, especially that will help with dry eyes.
We are going to talk about skin health. We are talking about physiotherapy today.
Not sleeping enough is not healthy for your skin, and there is dehydration. So we encourage, if you must be happy or do this, do it in moderation and take a lot of water at the same time.
Our core as physiotherapists is movement.
Face, you're trying to lower that burden, the number of the cancer cells using the chemotherapy, and there are some side effects they are going to get from that.
Welcome back. Thank you for keeping it TV47. Remember, this is TV47 Newsnow. Let us continue informing you with what has been taking shape across the country. Now to other news. Residents of Matayo's constituency, especially from the areas of Bukalama, Nasra and Busi-Boabu, have embraced the chicken farming project to improve their livelihoods through Kuku Bora initiative. Kuku Bora initiative has attracted more than 1,000 residents and is intending to change the lives of Matayo's residents. According to Jeff Okanya, residents have benefited greatly from the project, and he hopes to distribute more than 25,000 chickens for the next 3 years.
Kuna challenges ya chakula, hiyo ndio challenge hasa kwa na maisha yetu vile iko. Kwa mfano chakula inapatikana iko juu na dawa, pesa kununua dawa sababu economy ni mbaya.
Pesa haiwezi kosa mfukoni. Hata ukifukuza mtoto pesa iko mfukoni, itabidi hata uze kuku kamoja uende ulipie mtoto before bwana akuje.
We started Kuku Bora purely because we saw that there was a need for us to empower our people economically. I sat down and said, I'll not wait for someone else to do it for us. I said, I need to do something for our people. And that's why we started Kuku Bora. This is a project that is aimed at empowering the local person in the village and give them a means and a way to put money in their pocket. Kuku Bora is basically about rearing of improved Kienyeji chicken. We settled on chicken because Luya community is synonymous with chicken, and we said we are not going just to be judged as consumers of chicken, we are going to be producers of chicken to the rest of the country. So we give our farmers best quality chicks, we train them how to take care of the chicks, we vaccinate the chicks for them, and all that they do is basically to raise the chicks.
Away from matters chicken, Kiambu County government has stated that it will integrate over 100 health facilities to the health management system, which will enhance proper management and monitoring of service delivery in the county. The health management system will connect all 114 facilities in the county so as to improve turnaround times and ensure that each facility is adequately supplied. Speaking while breaking ground for the construction of Kiamombi Level 3 Hospital, Kiambu Governor Kimani Wamatangi said the facility will cost 50 million shillings and will be finished by December this year, while saying that his government will fast-track the completion of Level 4 Hospital in Githunguri, Lari, Bibirioni, Dogoto and Wangige.
Kwa wakati huu nitahakikisha kama deputy majority leader wa Kiambu County, pesa tunazo tulipitisha, na kila hospitali ambazo ni 13 zimetengewa milioni 50 kila moja yao.
Ecosystem yenye nimeweka tunaita ERP, na ndani ya ERP nimeweka hospital management system, ambapo inatuwezesha sasa kufuatilia monitoring ya zile madawa ziko kwenye hiyo hospitali. Ndio nikaambia hawa hakuna ward moja hivi ndani ya hii county in the next 6 months yenye haitakuwa na a level 3 facility yenye iko na mpaka maternity. Hapa tunaweka minor theater. Mtu ya ati joint imekuwa dislocated, sasa ni wapi? Ni hapa.
Elsewhere, residents of the northern and eastern regions are expected to benefit from water projects. This is after the United States Agency of International Development, USAID, rolled out a $24.8 million project in 9 counties of Isiolo, Marsabit, Samburu, Turkana, Wajir, Kitui, Makueni and Taita Taveta that will help promote water management and governance over a 5-year period. The ASL counties that are more vulnerable to the negative effects of climate change that are expected to be more acute in the future are said to benefit from the initiative that will bring the international partners together with the local county government and water providers in a working partnership called the USAID Stawi project.
I'm happy to host a team from USAID, a new project which is called Stawi. We are having a co-creation meeting today here for the next 2 days. So this is a new project which is funded by USAID. They will tackle in terms of water governance, they will tackle water service provision, they will tackle water for productive use, and maybe learning. What are we learning at the end of the phase? These are some of the things they are going to support us. In terms of governance, they are going to support us in maybe implementation of our policies at the county level.
So working closely with the county governments or county government structures, we believe we'll work towards in a long term putting in place the necessary mechanisms that will ensure availability of water, not just for drinking purposes but for productive use as well. So the total project cost for USAID Stawi is 24.8 million across the 9 counties and spread over 5 years. So today we having a co-creation session, which is basically a joint work planning session with the county government of Isiolo. So in this session, we are basically agreeing on the priorities or joint priorities that the county has that is aligned with the annual development plan and county integrated development plan.
On to other news, more than 500 families have been affected in the fresh border row at the Kitui-Tana River border. The conflict has seen more than 300 children missing school after the Kitui County Administration demolished the Kalalani Primary School constructed by the Galole Constituency Development Funds, among other projects. According to the residents, the place they have known as home for decades was suddenly declared a forest land in disregard of their existence. Hundreds have been left homeless, forcing them to live in the bush in a makeshift structures as they contemplate their next move.
Katika hii kaunti mbili sisi tuko majirani na tunaishi salama. Lakini kwa saa hii tumekujwa sisi tumevunjiwa shule, ile mali watu wanapata maji, yani maji wamekosa, KWS wanatumia maji. Sasa kile kukicha baada ya mwezi moja, baada ya mwezi mbili watu wetu wanakufa na kisima. Kwa sababu ile maji walikuwa wanatumia, saa hii KWS walichukua na nguvu, walichukua na nguvu, wao ndio wanatumia hiyo maji na watu wanapata shida.
Miaka mitano hakuna kijana mmoja ya Kalalani ama Kaonekaliti ama Nyali hata moja anaenda shule. Watoto wako nyumbani, wengine umeolewa, wengine kwa jambazi wako msituni. Jambazi kwani kama anakosa masomo afanye nini? Anakula mukoka. Hata bangi wanafuta wa vijana kama maana hakuna elimu, hakuelimishwa. Sasa naona hata bangi ni chakula kwao. Kwa hivyo hakuna kijana moja ama msichana moja anaenda shule mpaka sasa. Miaka ngapi? Miaka 5.
Tulazimishi wale wananchi ama iwe kuna mambo ya mpaka tunaamua. Vituo vikishajengwa vinakuwa ni mali ya National Police Service. Mapatano yaliyopo ni katikati ya County Government of Kitui na National Police Service. Na hatimaye baada ya kujenga hizo vituo sitapeanwa kwa idara ya polisi. Iwepo mpaka utakuwa Kitui ni sawa, itaendelea kushughulikiwa kutoka pande hiyo. Kama mpaka utakuwa pande ya Tana River ni sawa, na serikali ya kaunti ya Kitui inaelewa hilo.
Moving on, civil societies organizations have called upon President William Ruto to respect the rule of law when implementing the Maisha Card rollout plan that is scheduled to go live on September 29th. The representatives from different organizations say there is need to have an act guiding its implementation, including public participation and data protection measures.
Court of Appeal hakuna sheria ya rollout ya huduma, wameenda na kile kinachoitwa Miscellaneous Amendment Bill. Na mpaka leo hakuna Huduma Act. Na leo tunauliza rais wetu, Rais Ruto, unakwenda ku roll out Maisha number rollout ambayo ni kitu kizuri sana. Sisi hatuko hapa kuja kupinga unachokifanya, lakini tunakuambia rais, heshimu sheria. Uko na katiba iliyokuweka ofisini. Kwanza lazima tuwe na sheria ambayo ina guide utekelezaji wa hiyo maisha namba rollout ama UPI. Bila hiyo sheria, rais, tafadhali, hiyo ni wakati mrefu. We are in 21st century. Hamutakuwa mkikaa State House kufikiria mnachofikiria kwa akili yenu kuja kuletea wa Kenya, imposing it to Kenyans by using Kenyans money.
We therefore call on the government of Kenya, in particular the Ministry of Interior, to halt the rollout of the unique personal identifier until the following minimum steps are undertaken and met in a public, transparent manner. 1 is enact a proper legal framework that governs the system that is fully grounded in the Constitution and aligns with the requirements from the High Court judgment in the Nubian Rights Forum et al. Versus the Honorable Attorney General of Kenya